Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So my name is T, and usually I do these videos with my wife and my son, but today I'm doing this video on my own. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about renewing my US passport whilst living here in Mexico. When I was looking up the process to do it, there are several ways that I could do it. I will try to go to the website and walk you through the website so you can see how it goes. But bottom line, you log on, you answer a series of questions, and then it'll tell you whether or not you can mail your passport in. You have to visit an embassy or something of the sort. In my case, in my situation, I was able to do it via the mail, which here the process is you would send it through DHL back to the States and they would process it along, well, you'd send in your original passport and all your supporting documents to include your application form, pay the fee, and then they would send your passport back once it gets finished. However, having lived here in Mexico, I know that the mail system here is not the best. I instead reserved an appointment at a consulate in order to get it done. Now, there are several consulates. I won't even say wherever. Bottom line, I chose to go to Mexico City. I went online, made the appointment, did everything else that I'm supposed to do, which is to get my passport photos done. By the way, make sure you get the right size photo, because once I got to my appointment, I got turned away because the person who made my passport photos did not do it correctly. And that was a huge hassle because it took me about 2.5 hours just to get back into the consulate to get everything done.
Explore our charming one-bedroom, one-bathroom cottage, ideal for short-term rentals, nestled in the peaceful beauty of Cerritos, just a scenic 45-minute drive from vibrant Cabo San Lucas, tailored for a cozy retreat, perfect for a family of two, and only a delightful 10-minute stroll to the shoreline. Embrace this unique blend of desert living and coastal tranquility. Here's a glimpse of one of the units within the property.
So now I'm going to talk about the consulate that I visited, which is the consulate in Mexico City. If you go to their website, it tells you not to bring any bags, no electronic devices. In my case, I was staying at an Airbnb the night before, so I chose to take my backpack. I actually left my backpack at the Airbnb in a locker that they had, and my appointment was at 7:15. I showed up at like 5:45 because I read online that line can be extremely long. Military background, 15 to the 15 minutes prior. I was there like 2 hours prior. Got there, the security guard said, nope, you can actually bring your backpack and we have a process for that. So I went back, got my backpack and joined the line. There are two lines. One line was for people who are processing for visas, and then there is a passport. So if you go and you see a line, just ask. Don't do like I did, because I actually joined the wrong line initially and I should have been in the passport line, and the passport line was a lot shorter. Once you're entering the embassy, they will obviously go through your packs and make sure you don't have anything. I had a lot of USB cards to charge all my Apple Watch, my phones, and my external charger, all that stuff. They took all of that from me and put it in a bag, and they kept it with the guards downstairs. My phone, I had to turn it off and leave it downstairs. My Apple Watch, I had to turn it off and leave it downstairs. All that stuff they did. They went through my bags to make sure that there was nothing else in there that I shouldn't have inside the facility, and I was able to proceed. Once you get to the window, they will process your paperwork. In my case, it was a little bit easier because I already had a passport. It wasn't expired. My passport was 6 months away from expiring. So it was pretty easy for me. I hadn't lost the passport. So the process was simpler. That's my point. They called me back and said, okay, you're done. Here's where it gets funny. Afterward, they presented me with a DHL slip that I had to walk outside and to pay the fee. Once I paid the fee, they informed me that the passport, well, the gentleman at the window told me anyway, they're going to mail the passport to me, and I got to choose a particular location here in Baja Sur. In my case, I chose to go to Cabo because it was a lot closer than going to La Paz. So what am I saying? In the end, I am going to receive, because I haven't received it yet, I just did it a few days ago, I'm going to receive my passport anyway through the mail, and that's what I didn't want to do initially. what I found out is that they have specific locations that they have partnered with, or they consider to be secure locations to where your passport is not just going to disappear, which was my main concern. And they're going to mail it back there. So I spent money to go to Mexico City, although I hadn't been there before, and it was nice to go there. Spend money for Airbnb, and it's going to come back to me in the mail. The cost for it to be returned to me through DHL was 179 pesos. Some key takeaways from what I observed from other people who went to process their paperwork the day that I was there. Be sure to print the document directly from the passport application directly from the website, and don't print it out and then enter the information, because there's a barcode that gets printed on your application. They will not accept your application without that barcode, and it only gets generated if you print it through the website. In my case, I had both a passport book and a card. So I had the book and I also had the passport card. I thought I had to surrender both simultaneously since it was getting done, even though I was not renewing my passport card. I've had it all this time, and to be honest with you, I've never used it once. Even though I had it, I always presented my card when I'm driving through the border, and that's only when it's used. You use it for Mexico border or Canadian border, and every time I go through, I always present my passport. So I just didn't want to spend that additional money for something that I'm not going to use. They actually returned my passport card to me and said, you know, you can still keep that. It's still valid until it becomes expired. The last thing I want to touch on is, once I surrendered my passport, they did everything that they had to do, and then they punched it. But before they punched my passport, the gentleman made sure to ask several times, am I sure that I want to do this? Because he knew that I did not live in that area. How am I going to get back to where I need to go? Because most likely I'm going to fly. And I have a Mexican residency, so I'm able to fly. So you want to make sure that if you're going to do this, you're either going to be in that area, as in what is Mexico City, Guadalajara, Tijuana, wherever you're going to do it. Make sure that you're going to be there for that period of time you're not going to need to fly. Or if you do need to fly, make sure that you have the proper documents to fly locally. And yes, you can fly locally with your Mexican residency card without the use of your passport. The past 2 times that I flew, both from Guadalajara and recently a few days ago from Mexico City, before getting on the plane, right at the gate, there was someone there checking IDs to make sure. So I didn't have my passport, but I showed him my ID, and that was enough. So thanks for watching. If there's something that I missed, please share it in the comment section down below. If you think there's something else that I should have covered, please let me know. If you have done this before, you have experience, we'd love to hear your experience. Otherwise, hope you like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified next time we make a video. Hasta luego.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below.